Hi, and welcome back to my channel. In this video, I will be showing you several different dinner ideas. Here I'm going to take a leftover rotisserie chicken and throw it into the crock pot. I usually like to put sliced onions under the bottom of the meats that I put into the crock pot if it's something that needs onions. And here, I've removed the bones and it's just the meat and the onions. I'll throw in some bay leaves and I'm going to throw in some of this rice and add some of the liquid so that the rice can cook. I'm using water, but you could use chicken stock if you have it, or even those little bouillon cubes. Then I'm just going to add some corn and some potatoes. This is a very comfort food, lots of carbs kind of a meal for us. It's good for casseroles or a pot pie filling even, or just a soup by itself. Don't forget to season this with at least salt and pepper, but you can also do things like cover it with biscuits if you're going to eat it in like a casserole. You could stir cheese into it, you could top it with cheese, you could top it with French fried onions. Really, the possibilities with this are endless. Freezing your ground beef flat after you've squished it down in a bag makes it a lot easier to defrost in a hurry. Here I'm making a big pan of ground beef taco meat. We'll use this for tacos, quesadillas, nachos, burritos, enchiladas, taquitos. There's really many possibilities with taco meat. If you've seen my quarantine shopping haul, you know I got a large bag of pork cushion meat. So this is how I'm going to be using it to make some barbecued pulled pork. I'm just going to put some sliced onions on the bottom of my crock pot. This helps keep the meat up off of the bottom and kind of higher up out of the fat a little bit. It also adds very good flavor. If you don't buy pork in bulk, I would say I'm using about 3 pounds of pork. I'm going to put garlic over the top and then pour in a Dr. Pepper. I probably use between 5 and 6 cloves of garlic through a garlic press. You can use garlic powder, or you can chop up some garlic, or you can even use some of the refrigerated pre-minced garlic stuffs or pastes. Any kind of garlic really. And then just a can of Dr. Pepper. I usually cook this on high for 5 hours, but you could easily cook this on low for 8, just as long as the pork is cooked all the way through. Now you can add barbecue sauce to your regular crock pot with the meat still inside. I, however, like to put it into a smaller crock pot and almost cook the meat more and let it shred itself naturally just by stirring and cooking with barbecue sauce. Now I'll be making some homemade adobado sauce for some of the pork that we just chopped into cubes and put back into a bag, and then I make a taco sauce to go into the bag to make a taco marinade, and I will go ahead and put the whole bag into the freezer. Now I'm not technically allowed to tell you how I make the sauce or what goes in it, but if you kind of look and see, you might be able to do it yourself. This is the cut up pork. You can just brown this up and use this as stew meat or whatever, but when we cut it up, we like to put the taco seasoning in with it, and you can either let it sit for a few hours and let it marinate and then cook it into a pan, or I will go ahead and put this one in the freezer, and when I pull it out, I'll go ahead and put it into the crock pot and cook it till it's done. And then we just make a bunch of tacos or nachos or burritos. For carnitas, I'm just going to put in my pork roast, squeeze some oranges over the top of it. I'm going to go ahead and leave the peels in with it while it cooks, and I will cook this on high for 5 hours or low for 8. If you do decide to leave the peels in, make sure you're checking on them to make sure they don't burn, because they will not be able to stay in the whole cooking time. You will have to take them out. When my meat's done, I'll go ahead and put some rice into some oil and fry it over the stove. When it's done, I will add it to my rice cooker with the seasonings and tomato sauce and bouillon and everything to make rice. Another dinner idea is when I take some frozen tamales that I have out of the freezer and go ahead and steam them in my rice cooker to make just a simple carnitas plate. Another simple dinner, I'll just fry up a bunch of these frozen burger patties for lunches and dinners. A head of lettuce from the farmer's market. I was really excited about it because it's been very hard to find some decent lettuce around here. In most normal meatloaves, you usually add breadcrumbs and milk and eggs to them, but my daughter is allergic to milk and my son is allergic to eggs. So I just go ahead and skip over this, and it makes the meatloaf denser, so it's almost more like a slice of hamburger, I guess is how to describe it. But I would just make a bacon lettuce, and I like to cook my meatloaf in a pan. I find it cooks a little faster this way. About 15 minutes before it's finished baking, I will go ahead and make a sauce, which is basically just ketchup, mustard, and brown sugar. And I will stir it up and pour it over the top and let it get cooked for the last 15 minutes. For my kids, I'm just gonna fry up some of these canned potatoes and put some orange slices with it. They hate corn, they'll never eat it for whatever reason. And for us, I just made some baked potatoes with cheese and some corn. I hope I was able to give you some great dinner ideas. Thanks for watching.